Welcome to Knicks Home Court with your host. My name is Greg Armstrong. This is episode number 62. I am actually traveling at this time, but I want to get a few comments in my opinion, about Kristaps' brother, Janis. A report came out today that they're not in it just for the money. So I have a few things to say about this report and the timing of it and everything. I want to, again, this is all my opinion, but I want to give you, how can I say, an overall picture on how these things happen and how these things work and what's going on here. And it's a very, Kristaps needs to be very, very careful. Okay? Even your own family members have an agenda. Everybody wants attention. And this is his big brother. So, I remember the same thing was happening with Derrick Rose, with his big brother always saying stuff. And that's fine, to a certain degree. Because on the other hand, when your big brother says stuff, they definitely believe, the public will definitely believe that you are co-signing it. It's not like your agent may be just shooting off the hip, even though you pay him. So you're probably co-signing that as well. But when agents do things, they do things for certain effects. So, all right, so let me just tell you what happened if you haven't heard. So Janis Porzingis, his brother, had an interview with a Latvian newspaper. And, he spoke on Kristaps walking out or not showing up for the exit meeting and said, we talked about it. It was a planned thing. And first of all, I'm from a different era. I am completely from a different era because I'm not the type of person that allows anybody to speak for me. I'm a grown man. I speak for myself. And if somebody speaks for me that's supposed to be representing me, I'm going to have a problem. I'm going to step to them and say, listen, unless we talk about this now, I don't know if they spoke about it, but I don't let people speak for me. In this new age, we got mothers speaking for players and wives speaking for players and brothers speaking for players. I'm just not that type of person. I'm tight with my family, but they know me. Don't respect me as a person. You have to respect me as a person, and I will take care of my situations. That's just me. And that's how I was raised as well. So that kind of troubles me. But again, it's a new era. People do things differently. So he said, they planned to skip the exit meeting. That was a plan. Basically a shot across the bow. Basically letting them know that, listen, we want to win, right? See, the problem with superstars and superstars' families, I feel like sometimes people are delusional. A lot of those games the Knicks lost last year had a lot to do with Kristaps falling out and not playing well. It wasn't just, they didn't suck last year because of one person. They sucked collectively. Now, mind you, there was a lot of things. There was a lot of dysfunction. I blame Hornacek for a lot of it because, again, the coach, the GM, the president is telling you to coach a certain way and you're doing it. You look like the pussy and not standing up to the owner. Standing up to the president, because look, he wasn't going to fire you. He just hired you. He just fired, he had fired Derek Fisher and had to pay him his whole contract. So Dolan wasn't going to let him spend that money like that. Matter of fact, if you would have stood up to Phil Jackson might have got fired even earlier. For the simple fact is, look, I'm the coach. I run this shit. I'm the coach. You're the president. You get me these players, I coach these players. Period. So there was a lot of dysfunction because nobody was being a grown-up. Nobody was being a man. Forget about being a leader. And you know what? I hate to say it, but I've had problems with I've been in unions in the past, and I've had problems with management because I've always been the person to speak up, and I'm not trying to lead anyone. It's like, no, I'm not going to just let you tell me anything. And if I have an issue, and if it's okay for me to speak, because a lot of places say, well, speak your mind. I'm going to speak my mind respectfully. And it's uncomfortable to do that. But trust me, once you do that, people understand and they will respect you. You know, sometimes you got to feel uncomfortable, or you got to, like, there's this is a saying that I came up with. It may be an old saying, but if you don't like confrontation, you will be a pushover. People will sense that, and they will always, because think about it, a person that's always ready to speak up on issues, people don't fuck with that person. Like, nah, man, he gonna speak up. Somebody like Draymond Green, who I appreciate, yeah, he might be a jerk at times, but he gonna speak up for his, and you ain't gonna fuck with him. So anyway, I got a little off track. Let me get back to Janis. So, you know, he said that one of the lines that he said in the article, and you can find it, it's all over ESPN.com. One of the lines he said is that he felt that a lot of people were saying that Kristaps was unprofessional for walking out on the exit meeting, and he felt that that was, what's the word I'm looking for? Hypocritical. He didn't say hypocritical, but I'm just going to say hypocritical because, you know, in saying Melo was being professional and Kristaps wasn't being professional, and he felt that that was hypocritical of people to say, right? So when I heard this, I'm saying, see, this is what I'm talking about when I say that people are delusional, okay? Dude, if you have an exit meeting, being professional and being a leader on the court is two different things. And when you have an exit meeting with your boss who pays your checks, who pays for probably the new house your family got and all the shit y'all got going on, regardless of your talent, he's just asking to meet with you. All your concerns, you could have addressed it to his face. Okay? You don't, and by the way, there's never been a statement by Kristaps. So that troubles me. But either way, that was unprofessional, dude. When they say that Melo is professional, they saying that all the shit that Phil Jackson was doing to Melo could have just said, you know what, fuck Phil. What if one of those interviews, well, Phil Jackson, you know what, fuck Phil. Phil's a piece of shit. He never did that. He stood up, answered the questions, gave the same old simple answers, but answered the questions and dealt with the problems and went out and played as best as he can. Actually, he went out and was the player that he's always been. He's never been a leader. That's not him. That's not him. He's going to do what he do. You do what you do. And let's ball. They had no problem with him being a leader in Denver when they was winning all them fucking games and going to the playoffs 9 straight years. Like I said, his first season in Denver, their record improved 24 games. 24 fucking games. So, let's not forget who Carmelo is. Who he always has been. He's about to go for 25,000 points sometime during this year. Respect that man. He had to be professional to get to that point. Being a leader, no. But being professional, yes, he's always been. He works on his game. He doesn't come into camp out of shape. All of that's being professional. You walking out on an exit meeting, I'm sorry, is unprofessional. That's not how things are done. That's not how things are done. Even if you come to the meeting and you don't like what you're hearing and you walk out, that's a little different. It's still a little unprofessional, but at least it's making a stance in a better manner, I would say. Because people stage walkouts all the time. But what Kristaps did, he didn't go to the meeting and he was on Instagram. You telling me that's professional? You telling me that was good? He's on Instagram posting pictures on his way back to Latvia? Nah, that's not professional. That's crazy shit. That's crazy. My boss looking for me and I'm posting pictures on Instagram. The Knicks ain't his girlfriend? Come on, man. I'm never going to co-sign that bullshit. I think it was bullshit what he did. And now you coming out and said y'all planned it, so y'all planned on being unprofessional. Now, I would have respected Janis if he would have said, I understand it was professional, but we planned it and we were disgruntled or whatever, because it was unprofessional. You can't say, well, Carmelo sometimes is unprofessional, so why are they talking about us being? It just reeks of you're not aware of who, you're not being aware of the situation. You know, I mean, I've always said you can't use somebody else's wrongdoing to defend your wrongdoing. That is just childish and stupid. You rob a bank and you telling people, well, other people rob banks. I mean, what the fuck is stupid? It just doesn't make sense. So yes, no, I don't agree with that. I agree with the fact, other things he said, look, we're not just about the money. Now, when people say that, that's a lie. Let's just be real. Everybody's about the money, but I get his point. Kristaps is good enough to get his money anywhere. That's a fact. Kristaps is going to get his max deal no matter where he goes. You know what I'm saying? He's going to get it no matter where he goes. So that's why he's saying that, because he's not a middling player. He's not a mid-level player. He's going to get a max deal. So that's why he's saying he's not worried about money. But what he's really saying is, which I agree with, he wants to know what direction the team is going into. That's why I keep telling people that tanking shit is stupid. You do not tank. Do not tank. You try to win these games. Now, I don't know if he's going to delay on signing the extension based on what the Knicks do in the summer, because basically there's nothing they can do in the summer because they're not going to really have cap space. So delaying a signing, I don't know what that is. But guess what? When you play as well as Kristaps, you have leverage. That's one thing Kristaps has right now is leverage. But understand, I don't want Kristaps to turn into a monster with that leverage. Turn into a baby with that leverage. Because guess what? New York will flip on you, Kristaps. Don't think it won't. They don't give a fuck. They flipped on Ewing, they will flip on you. And Ewing, as far as I know, is the greatest Knick that ever played at this point. So, and they flipped on Ewing, and they flipped on Ewing when we lost in the conference finals. You ain't even make the fucking playoffs. So, relax, dude. This is New York. They flipped on Derek Jeter when he was not playing well. Yeah, there's a bunch of assholes here, but we don't play that shit. So tread lightly, dog. Because the more shit you talk, the more pressure you put on your brother. The more shit Janis talks, the more pressure he's going to put on that young man. And apparently, he's not going to play he's not going to, people can't drive in New York. I swear. It's just like, I just don't understand it. Anyway, I'm sorry. So, there's going to be a lot of, there's already a lot of pressure on Kristaps, but it behooves you to have the fans on your side, everybody on your side. You know, the Knicks got a new regime, so I don't know why you would hold out signing an extension, for the simple fact is that it's a new crew here. They need time to show what they can do. They've already gotten rid of Melo. They seem to be smart about what they're doing. So they're going to need time to be able to do this. So just wanted to put that out there. I believe he's going to sign the extension because really it's smart. A lot of players, if you notice, even Kyrie, when his extension came up, they usually sign their first extension because they're not going to get that money in other places. They're not going to take that chance on, I think sometimes it's like $70, $80 million, and players can get hurt. Look at Chris Paul. He just got hurt. He was promised $200 million. You think he's getting that shit next year after getting injured? He ain't getting that. He going to get a big money, but he got to prove he's healthy now. He would have had that money already. You know, this ain't the NFL where if you get hurt, you know, they can just void out your contract because they don't really have guaranteed. They don't have guaranteed contracts in the NFL. It's preposterous, but that's the truth. So now let me get to the part of it where I feel like that I don't like. Okay, and what I'm saying is, all right. So now, understand this: if you ever know anybody who's ever had some kind of celebrity or who's famous or whatever, everybody want to eat off your plate. Everybody you know, people you don't know, want to eat off your plate. Now, this was a Latvian paper, right? I don't know if Janis got paid for this interview, but now that Latvian paper, and I'm not sure if Kristaps has a stake in the paper, because anything he says in that paper is going to make news here. Now we're hearing about a Latvian news company. There's a lot of money involved in shit like that. There's a lot of people want to tune into the Latvian papers to see what Kristaps and his brother might say next. You know, so I don't know the full angle. I don't know if his brother's trying to get attention, because trust me, you'll be surprised, but family members, they want their shine too. They want their camera too. I can tell you, like Eli Apple's on the Giants, and his mother, who's smart lady, she ended up getting a job at ESPN. This is what family members are doing nowadays. They're parlaying their family members' success into something for them, which more power to them. If long as, more power to them. Go ahead, do your thing. See, me, I'm more of a background thing. If my son ever blew up in anything, I'm playing the background. I'm the background advisor. I don't need to be Front Street. Nah, it's your time to shine, and you don't have a long time to shine. I'm not gonna have people running to you asking you questions. See, because the timing of this coming out now, I don't know when the interview was done, but the timing of the interview and the timing of it coming out now is not good. Everybody's feeling good about Kristaps. He's balling out. Now, guess what's going to happen? There's going to be questions about what his brother said. Now he's going to be dealing with these questions all year long because his brother mentioned, we're not going to sign an extension right away. Why would you fucking do that? Just do it. Just do it. Just tell the Knicks organization privately that, look, we want to see what's going on. And if they leak it, that's their business. You don't do that. Now Kristaps is going to have to answer those questions all the time. You see, that's why when you become famous like Kristaps, or you become a star, you need to hire a PR firm. A lot of people think that's bullshit. PR firms know the statements to put out. They know what to say. They know how to deal with these situations. They have testers and feelers to know if you say this is the reaction you're going to get. See, the brother, he's not from this country, so that's the problem as far as knowing how people are going to respond to it and things like that. So I'm not feeling any of that. I'm not feeling that. But again, the Knicks as I said in previous podcasts, yo, man, that tanking shit, players don't want to lose. Players don't want to lose. They don't want to suck for another year and to get a high draft pick, and hopefully he's good. And if he's good, think about Frank Ntilikina. He's 19. He's going to take about 2 years to develop, at least. Maybe defensively he'll develop earlier, but I'm talking about as far as overall game. So you want to tank another year and get another guy and wait. I mean, what, Kristaps going to be 26 before they make the playoffs? Nah, he don't want to be, he's looking around. He don't want to be Boogie Cousins. He don't want to be Anthony Davis. As great as Anthony Davis is, that team hasn't made the playoffs. Made the playoffs once. He doesn't want to be that guy. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. So, while I agree with the sentiment, I don't agree how it's going on. Again, I just don't respect people. Let me tell you, I believe in all right, put it like this. You go to the media when you first go to your boss first. You go to them people first, you speak to them, and if you don't like what you're hearing, you speak to them again, and if then you don't like, then maybe you want to leak it out there. That's just how it's done. But nowadays, you got celebrities on Instagram. They won't even call up their own friends. They want to put shit on Instagram first and put you on blast. See, I wish I was a celebrity because that shit wouldn't work to me. That wouldn't work with me. I'd be like, yo, all right, I'm going to call this person on the phone, and we're going to talk about it in person, and we're never going to have this problem again. And when I say talk about it in person, I don't mean we're going to fight. I mean, we're going to talk like grown-ups. Keep my shit off of Instagram. Keep my shit. I know this is how the generation goes now, but there's got to be some honor and some code to what you do. When you look back, I know half of these people, when they look back, when they hit their 60s, they're going to look back and say, yeah, that was some stupid shit I was doing. That was some dumb. I didn't ruin relationships by putting shit out, in Front Street to embarrass people, because people will embarrass you just to get attention. It's bullshit. So anyway, I just wanted to get my say in on that situation with Kristaps. And also, I want to give a big ups to Courtney Lee, because you know what? I don't know if he complained in practice about the Knicks not paying attention and not listening and things like that. I don't know if he did that, and I didn't like that he took it to the public. However, I can't argue with the results. I can't. And sometimes you do got to take it to the streets, so to speak. And maybe in the same thing, I feel like if the Knicks respond positively, okay, maybe this is the world we live in now. You say shit to the public and you get positive results. But right now, even though it's night, there's a good thing going on with this team. It's drama free, and then his brother opens his mouth and brings back the drama, because this is New York and people can't resist to get that attention. So anyway, that's all I have to say on that situation. I gave y'all a little bonus podcast. So this has been Knicks Home Court. My name is Greg Armstrong, episode number 62. Peace.